Some dogs are big enough to knock you over. Others are so enormous they need their own bed, consume staggering amounts of food, and can weigh more than the average adult human. From record-breaking Great Danes to powerful Mastiffs and massive working dogs, these canine giants push size to another level. Welcome to the TOP7. If you enjoy discovering extraordinary animals that seem almost too incredible to be real, hit the like button and subscribe for more. Here are 7 abnormally large dogs that actually exist. Number 7. Giant George Great Danes are already famous for their extraordinary height, but Giant George took the breed to another level. Living with his owners, Dave and Christine Nasser, in Tucson, Arizona, George became one of the most famous giant dogs in the world. And it wasn't difficult to understand why. George weighed an astonishing 245 pounds, around 111 kilograms, and was dramatically larger than a typical Great Dane. His height eventually earned him recognition from Guinness World Records as the tallest dog ever recorded at the time. But George didn't begin life looking like a future world record holder. According to his story, he had actually been considered the runt of his litter. As he grew, however, it became clear that this supposedly small puppy was becoming something extraordinary. His size affected almost every aspect of everyday life. When George traveled by plane, he reportedly needed an entire row of 3 seats. At home, a normal dog bed wasn't enough. He slept on a queen-sized mattress. His extraordinary dimensions eventually attracted national attention, including an appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show in 2010. But despite becoming an international celebrity, to his family, he was simply George, their enormous and much-loved pet. George died in 2013, but he remains one of the most memorable canine giants ever recorded. Number 6. Neapolitan Mastiff. If you're looking for a dog that appears intimidating without even trying, the Neapolitan Mastiff certainly qualifies. Also known as the Mastino Napolitano, this Italian giant is immediately recognizable by its enormous head, heavy frame, loose skin, and dramatic wrinkles. The breed has a long history as a guardian. For generations, these powerful dogs were valued for protecting homes and property, and their appearance alone could be enough to make an unwanted visitor reconsider coming any closer. Adult dogs can stand around 31 inches at the shoulder and weigh up to approximately 150 pounds. Yet beneath that imposing exterior is a very different personality. Neapolitan Mastiffs can be deeply devoted to their families and protective of the people and animals they consider part of their household. Their huge bodies, wrinkled faces, and impressive amounts of drool might not fit everyone's definition of elegance, but their loyalty is difficult to ignore. However, this isn't necessarily an ideal breed for an inexperienced owner. Their strength and protective instincts mean early socialization and consistent training are extremely important. Because when a 150-pound dog decides it wants to go somewhere, simply pulling harder on the leash may not be enough. Number 5. Hulk the Pitbull. Hulk isn't a breed. He's one extraordinary individual, and his name fits him remarkably well. While Pitbull-type dogs are generally much smaller than giant Mastiffs, Hulk became famous for reaching an extraordinary weight of around 174 pounds. That made him several times heavier than many typical pit bulls. Born in December 2013 and raised by breeders Marlon and Lisa Grennan, Hulk quickly attracted attention because of his exceptional size. But his appearance was only part of the story. Despite his massive body, Hulk was presented as a playful and affectionate family dog, including around the Grennans' young son. Videos documenting his growth helped turn him into an internet sensation. As a puppy, Hulk was already unusually large, and as he continued growing, viewers watched him develop into one of the most recognizable oversized pit bulls online. His enormous build inevitably raised questions about mobility and the additional strain extreme weight can place on a dog's joints. Even so, Hulk was shown remaining active and surprisingly agile for his size. His story became fascinating, not simply because he was huge, but because of the contrast. A dog with an intimidating name, extraordinary muscle, and enormous physical presence could still behave like an affectionate family companion. And if you think 174 pounds is impressive, our next breed can become even heavier. Number 4. English Mastiff. The English Mastiff is one of those dogs that makes normal-sized furniture suddenly look very small. Massive, broad, and heavily built, the breed is famous for combining extraordinary physical power with a surprisingly calm temperament. An adult male can stand close to 35 inches at the shoulder, with a broad head, deeply furrowed brow, and characteristic dark facial mask. The original story follows a family in Duluth, Minnesota, living with 3 enormous Mastiffs. One of them, Harrison, weighed around 250 pounds at just 2 years old. That's heavier than many adult men. Despite their intimidating dimensions, English Mastiffs are known for being devoted family dogs. Their size alone often makes them effective guardians without requiring constant aggression. Simply imagine walking into someone's home and finding a 200-plus-pound Mastiff staring back at you. The message is fairly obvious, but owning a dog this large also changes everyday life. They eat substantial amounts of food. They need enough room to move comfortably. Exercise, training, and basic handling all become more complicated when your pet weighs as much as a human being. Even convincing one to move can become a negotiation. Still, for owners who have the space, experience, and resources, the English Mastiff's combination of enormous size and calm companionship has made it one of the world's most recognizable gentle giants. We're more than halfway through, and the dogs ahead combine their enormous size with serious working ability. If you're enjoying the countdown, take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's head to Italy. Number 3. Cane Corso. The Cane Corso is powerful for a reason. This Italian breed traces its heritage to the Molosser-type dogs associated with ancient Rome and later developed into a versatile guardian and working dog. Historically, Cane Corsos were used around farms and properties, where strength, intelligence, and protective instincts were valuable qualities. And those traits remain obvious today. A large Cane Corso can stand around 28 inches at the shoulder and weigh more than 100 pounds. Beneath its short coat is an extremely muscular body, built for strength and athleticism. Unlike some giant breeds that prefer spending most of the day relaxing, the Cane Corso can be highly active and alert. They're intelligent, observant, loyal, and naturally protective. That combination can make them outstanding guardians. But it also means training isn't optional. A Cane Corso needs clear boundaries, consistent handling, socialization, and enough physical and mental activity to stay engaged. For inexperienced owners, their confidence and sheer strength can become difficult to manage. With proper training, however, these muscular giants can form remarkably close relationships with their families. Number 2. Newfoundland. Imagine a 150-pound dog diving into freezing water to save someone. For the Newfoundland, that's exactly the kind of work its ancestors were built to do. Originating in Canada, Newfoundlands became closely associated with fishermen and waterwork. Their enormous bodies can reach around 28 inches at the shoulder and approximately 150 pounds, but they're far more athletic in water than their heavy appearance suggests. Their swimming ability is aided by their powerful build, thick coat, and webbed feet. Historically, these dogs assisted fishermen and became famous for their natural affinity for water. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about Newfoundlands is the contrast between their strength and temperament. They're often described as exceptionally gentle and affectionate. Their combination of physical power, swimming ability, and instinct to help people has also contributed to their reputation as remarkable rescue dogs. Around families, they can be patient and nurturing, particularly with children. Essentially, imagine combining the strength of a working dog with the personality of an enormous teddy bear. That's the Newfoundland. Number 1. Bernese Mountain Dog. Our final giant comes from the Swiss Alps. The Bernese Mountain Dog has a working history stretching back centuries, with ancestors associated with farm life in Switzerland. These dogs weren't bred merely to look impressive. They worked. Bernese Mountain Dogs guarded property, assisted farmers, and pulled carts carrying heavy loads. Their strength even became associated with transporting goods, such as dairy products from farms. Adult Bernese Mountain Dogs can weigh more than 115 pounds and stand over 27 inches at the shoulder. Their thick, tricolored coat, typically black with white and rust markings, makes them appear even larger. But once again, Enormous size doesn't mean an aggressive personality. Bernese Mountain Dogs are widely valued for their affectionate and friendly nature. They can form strong bonds with their families and generally enjoy being involved in everyday activities. Their intelligence and working background also mean they need exercise and engagement. A cramped environment with little activity isn't ideal for a dog originally developed to work outdoors in the Alps. Give them space, training, attention, and enough activity, however, and their enormous physical presence is matched by an equally impressive personality. Seeing a dog this large in photographs is one thing. Standing next to one is something completely different. When your pet can outweigh a grown adult, everyday things like feeding, exercising, traveling, or simply sharing the couch suddenly become much bigger challenges. So here's the question. Would you actually want to own a dog this enormous? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.